Welcome back to the Slightly Off Topic podcast. It is I, Demonic, with the homie Mario.
Good evening, yo.
So, for today, we have a person that decided to become homeless.
All right.
I know what you're thinking already. You feel bad for her. All right. You're
Poor
like,
thing.
oh no. Like, did she have like some financial struggle? Did she lose her job? Like why did she become homeless?
Right.
All right. It's not what you guys think. It might be, but it's not. It's almost as bad as that one. I don't know if you saw, there was this congressman that decided to go on a hunger strike.
Oh yeah, for 8 hours?
For a heroically 8 hours.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah, so he didn't have lunch or water for 8 hours, and you know the best part about it is that when they were done, they literally had that little finger thing on him to make sure all his vitals were okay.
It's like, Jesus Christ, guy.
Dude, it's just that's very like, forget about the men, forget about the men and women fighting for our freedoms overseas. This is real heroism.
Oh yeah,
right here, what he did. All right, he's
the one who sacrificed.
Exactly, not the people that died for our freedoms and none of that. It's this man right here. And also this woman right here, because, like I said, she fell through these hard financial times. She probably might have been addicted to meth or heroin. Fentanyl. Fentanyl's a big thing right now in the United States. Yep, guys, don't do fentanyl, please.
She did it for 3 hours.
3 hours?
She did fentanyl for 3 hours.
No way. We're going to insert the video right here.
Yesterday, I pretended to be homeless for 3 hours, and I realized that if you're homeless, you're there by choice. Like, you are there by choice, 100% having that experience, just the way that I chose to go experience that by choice. It's just the only difference is the stories that you're telling yourself. So if you want to experience homelessness, you want to experience what it would be like to lose everything, you can go have that experience. Or you're welcome to create a bunch of bullshit stories in your life that force you, quote unquote, force you into that experience. But even when you go by force, it's still by choice because you wanted to have that experience. You just created a bunch of excuses for why you gave yourself permission to have it. It's just like any other experience that we have in life. It's no worse or better than having a home. It's no, different than anything else, but the experience does show you how much you take for granted.
So, now that you've seen the video, Mario, go ahead with the first story.
E-Bums World reports, get-rich-quick grifter becomes homeless for 3 hours, concludes it's a choice. Typically, when get-rich-quick influencers make videos explaining their schemes, they do so sitting in a massive house, in an expensive car, or in some kind of luxury resort. Not sitting on the side of the road, giving homelessness a try. But Mandy on Earth isn't like other grind-set TikTokers. That's because there is no scheme. It's all about believing in yourself. And nothing manifests good fortune like claiming that homelessness is a choice. She came to the conclusion of it being a choice because she chose it. At Yokanan Dove asked, nobody except her would choose to be homeless. Says she goes on to call it an experience that everyone should try instead of realizing that she has the luxury of ending it whenever she pleases. Isn't being homeless for 3 hours just going outside for 3 hours? Walrus64 asked. For someone who believes that wealth just comes to those who really believe in it, Mandy really does plug her self-help courses.
So for 3 hours.
Yep.
She went outside for 3 hours.
Yeah. I go outside for 8 hours when I go to work.
I go outside for typically 30 minutes, and then I pretend that I had a long day at work. Just because, I had to pretend, I got to sometimes when I'm in the...
3 hours not even long enough to get hungry.
I can get hungry
if you're sitting there.
Okay, yeah, true. Okay, I was gonna say, yeah. Okay, then yeah. But she's brave.
She's super brave.
She's stunning brave that she went out and conquered the real world.
Yeah,
for 3 hours.
She defeated her own homelessness.
So
by going back to her house that
right, exactly. Okay, so we kind of discussed this a little bit.
Yeah.
She says it's a choice.
Right.
And I am going to be on the wrong side of this, but I kind of agree with her.
Well, to a certain degree, some people do make choices that lead to their homelessness.
Right. But the way how she said it, the way how she stated it, though, I don't agree with her because she's like, it's a choice, like I chose to do this. I've seen some people that go out to like these massive camps where there's a bunch of homeless people, and they interview them.
Right.
You'd be surprised of how many people actually say that it was their choice to be homeless.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to live in this societal structure that we have, paying mortgages, paying rent, paying for electricity,
and
stuff like that.
Yeah, and I agree to a certain extent. Yeah, some people do choose to be homeless.
Yes. So that's where I agree with her, kind of. Some.
The way she says it, though.
Yes, the way she said it is like
some.
Exactly, especially for 3 hours. Like you came to this conclusion for 3 hours.
Insane.
And let's be honest, I guarantee you she went outside, sat down, recorded her video, and then went back inside. It probably wasn't even for 3 hours.
Yeah.
You think she's gonna brave the elements for 3 hours?
No.
When all she could just do is like hit record and be like, oh, like I was outside. She's basically trying to do what I do and pretend that I work. She's trying to pretend
was actually out there for 3 hours.
So the way I kind of agree with her is because being homelessness is kind of a choice, because you probably did bad stuff to get there in the first place, right?
You think by and large the homeless community is there by choice?
Not necessarily. What I meant though is like, okay, you lost your job, right? And you lost your house, your whatever, right?
Okay.
Hear me out. You can always get another job.
Wow, that's a tough statement right there.
It is, but you can still get another job. It's hard, but 80% of the chance you can probably find another job. If you did the more harder one for me would be the people that are addicted to a certain substance. Mm-hmm. That is more difficult to try to get out of being homelessness because like it is addicting and it basically alters your mind and your basic ability to function and to think right. I'm just talking about like the ones that probably hit a financial how do you say it? Like they lost their finances basically. Okay. Like, cause I'm trying to put myself in that situation, right? And I'm not gonna do it for 3 hours, Right. I'm just only gonna think about it, right? That if you lose your job, and if you lost your house, like, why wouldn't you try to make the effort to get another job and not be in this situation?
I'm sure a lot of people did make the effort. I think the opportunity doesn't always present itself to those people. For example, you and I can find another job easy. We are in our prime in terms of labor. We have years of experience and we still have 30 years ahead of us ready to work.
Right.
Let's say you got laid off at 55.
Right.
Who's hiring you?
That's true. You know what? That is true.
Because at 55, you own a home. At 55, most likely you have a mortgage. At 55, now you have health problems. At 55, people get laid off.
Right, that's true. You know what?
And then you're not going to take a job at 55 for $15 an hour, presumably.
In California.
In California.
The hourly is $15 an hour.
So you're not going to take that job at $15 an hour living in California because you're 55, so you have a mortgage, you have a car payment, you still have these things. You potentially even have kids in college.
In my defense, I did kind of say I was putting myself in that situation.
No, right.
And you brought me back to reality.
Yeah, the reality is that, the people that are our age, most likely, you're there by either a choice or you're addicted to drugs, which is not really a choice.
The addiction
to the start.
Yes.
But it's not a choice to continue because at that point it grabs a hold of you.
Oh yeah, what is the
Look at that what they do with those people that they kidnap. They hook them on drugs so that they don't leave.
Right, no, exactly. And that's why I said excluding the drug addiction part.
Right.
Because like I said, that alters your well state of being. That alters your mind. That alters like your brain. Like your brain is basically like once that's gone, it's gone.
So on my way to work, I drive by homeless encampments every single day.
Right.
And just looking at them, you can usually tell it's like who's there because they're on drugs and who's there because, hey, this is just a better situation for them because they'd rather live in their van or in their car because it's way cheaper than anything else. Sometimes I'm like, damn, y'all don't have to get up. Like, you're just gonna enjoy your day. Like, cool.
Enjoy.
Yeah, enjoy your day. But it's like, I'm thinking about, when I think of the homeless people, I think of the ones that, you know, you had a health scare, a health issue. Your pancreas burst, and you're not 29 years old, so you didn't recover.
30.
You're not 30 years old.
August 2nd.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, technically, I can.
Why did you fucking tell me?
Because
I said happy birthday.
Because you should know.
No, I feel like a dick.
We've been doing this podcast for half a year now, all right?
And I never asked you when your birthday was.
And you should know, all right? I shouldn't have to tell you this. You should already know.
Well, that's the point I'm making here is that...
Technically, I can have my my midlife crisis pretty soon. Like, maybe like in 3 or 5 more years, because you know how life expectancy is like between 60
something.
Yeah,
well, I'm 35, so I'm already there.
Yeah, dude, you could, if you wanted to, you can start having your midlife crisis now. It doesn't have to be till 50. Everybody thinks it could be to 50. No, you're like, chances of you actually like living up to 50 are like pretty slim already. You know, like the life expectancy is, what I've seen last time I seen was 65 to 75.
Right.
Within that 10-year span, you know. So if you wanted to have your early midlife crisis, I would say between 30 to 35 is the perfect time.
Right. So, back to this.
Right.
So let's say you and I in our situation, okay? Lost our jobs. Recession. This actually happened to me in 08, okay? Because of the recession, I had lost my job because the company that I worked for basically lost like half of the accounts that they had. We were dropped left and right, our company was.
Right.
And so I ended up getting laid off. And so I'm like, I'm only like 20 years old, 21. I'll find another job. No big deal. 6 months passed before I found another job. I did McDonald's, Taco Bell. I did all the minimum wage jobs because at that age, a minimum wage job could have still been enough.
Right. That's my laptop.
Oh, okay.
You remember I told you that it has a very powerful fan?
Yeah. So but you know, I still for 6 months and that wasn't a choice. I was looking for work.
Right, exactly.
And so what ended up supplementing that was doing little side jobs here and there, working with family.
Right.
And you know, and thankfully for them, they helped us keep us above water.
Right.
Now that wasn't the case for everybody that was my age. A lot of us moved back home.
Right, exactly.
Back to our parents' house.
Exactly.
There's some of these people where that wasn't an option.
And like I said, I'm putting myself in that situation. Like the way how I see it is, if you're in a really shitty situation, your mindset should be get out of there at all costs.
Yeah.
You know, which you brought me back down to reality, because like a lot of people are, you know, obviously not of working age anymore. You know,
right.
health scares, health problems.
Now,
you know, so
another example. I don't give homeless people my change, my money, none of it. Especially when they're my age and they look like junkies. It's like, no, right? When I do give them money, when I do give them food or whatever I got, it's usually like this dude's in his 60s, you know, and he's like in a wheelchair, he's got one leg, and you can tell, you know, life has not been kind to this guy. And it's like, you know what? Take my $1, $2.
I mean, you can kind of tell if it's a young person. You can tell also, you know, because like same here. Like I don't give out money.
Another thing, sorry, cut you off. Good. Another thing, so some of these homeless people, like you say, like if I lost my job right now, I couldn't take another minimum wage job and still keep my house.
Right.
That wouldn't be enough.
Right.
If I lost my company, my house, my job, my current job, what I make right now wouldn't. If my wife lost her job, both of us working full time, minimum wage jobs, we could get minimum wage jobs. Would not be enough to pay for our current lifestyle. Right. So we'd have to start selling and getting rid of things. But here's the thing. Let's say I do sell my truck. I still owe money on it.
Right. You're still in the hole.
I'm still in the hole.
Yep.
Sold my wife's car. We still owe a little money on that one. Almost done. But we're still in the hole.
Right.
I can sell my house, and that should be good enough for a while.
Right.
To last us a few months.
Right.
But now I got to find a new place to live. Got to start over. Meanwhile, I'm still looking for a job.
Right.
You know, and it's like starting all over. And fortunately, I do own a house. Now, assuming like most people that do end up homeless, they didn't own a house to begin with. Right. You can't pay that rent. You're out.
Right. No, exactly. And like I said, I understand and I get where you're going with this. Right. Like I said, unlike Steven Crowder, you actually did change my mind right now. You know, so I agree with where you're going with this. To me, I just think that if you were to, using your situation, like, you know what, how? Let's use my situation, right? If I were to like lose my job, because my apartment is free.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't have to pay rent.
But if you lost,
if I lost my job, I would need a place to stay, to go.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't have money saved up to, you know, like try to put a down payment somewhere else, you know, or like, you know, put the deposit for an apartment or anything like that. So
you'd still be safe enough to go live with your mom, dad, your family, right?
Exactly. I'd be safe enough there. But like the way how I see it,
you know how many orphans grow up just to become homeless? An insane amount.
How many orphans grow up to become homeless?
So the orphans that don't get adopted.
Oh, okay, I thought for right now, knowing you, I thought you were going at a really morbid joke now.
No. No, I'm just saying. So that they did these studies on these orphans, and it was like, what happens when you get aged out of the system? You're 18, you're off, you're cut off. No more food, no more shelter, no more anything. But you never got adopted. You don't have any. You have friends that were also orphans.
Right.
But they're out there looking out for themselves. Right. So it's like you're out there in the world on your own. Good luck.
Right. Exactly.
Figure it out. And if you're a girl, not 9 times out of 10. I don't know the actual statistics, but a good amount of them just turn to prostitution.
I mean, because
if you're a boy,
that's the way how to make. I'm not saying that's a good way, you know, but like I mean, at least they have a way how to make money. Right. You know, I'm not saying that they should, or I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying that, like,
put that on your apartment contract or on your lease.
I know, right?
I'm a prostitute. That's how I make my money.
Yeah. So the way on my mindset,
get a credit card recording that as your income.
Right. My mindset is that if you were to come down to hard times, no matter what, you shouldn't have nights where you're able to sleep. You know, you have to be up basically 24/7. Trying to get yourself back up,
and
you know, and that might not work. It still might not work, but it's only not going to work if you let it not work.
That's not true.
It is true.
That is not true.
It is because no matter what you can.
It's not fair.
It's not fair, but it's up to you to keep fighting through it.
I agree.
You know, like you can, and like I'm saying, this is my mindset right now, right? Because if this were to happen to me, that'd be my thinking. You know, I'm going to go out there. Let's just say for whatever reason, I could not work in the field that I work at right now.
See, and here's the thing, though. I agree with you there, but at no point am I sitting here thinking that I'm gonna make it for sure. There's no guarantee.
Oh no, there's definitely not guaranteed. But there's no guarantees.
I've seen people fight tooth and nail to still end up losing their car, losing their home. I'm not
saying that life isn't gonna be easy when you lose it. Because it's obviously going to be hard. You're going to go through this bad period of life. It could be 1 year, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years. But it's up to you to never stop fighting. It's up to you never to stop being on that quote unquote grind set. Is that what they said, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, the grind set.
Is insane.
You know, like it's up to you. You know, I'm not saying that it's going to be an easy road. It's obviously going to be a difficult road, but it's up to you not to let it beat you down. Well, you know, it's up to you. It's up to you.
It's really up to you though, because it's like you're saying this because it hasn't happened and you haven't seen it happen to people, most likely. Because I've seen it. When you've had it happen to you.
I haven't had it happen to me.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't had it happen to me. So this is why I'm going at it with this point of view, right? But I know people that this has happened to them,
right?
You know, and like hearing from their stories, you know, yes, they could have been the lucky ones. You know, I'll give it to you there. They could have been the exception, you know, but my way of thinking, I used to know this kid growing up from school that he got into like some really messed up drugs and stuff like that. And like, I would see him every time I go pump gas, I would see him trying to wash windows, you know, to make $5 here, $5 there, you know, like there's always some way of like trying to better yourself from the situation that you're in now.
Right.
You know, like I get what you're saying that it's not a guaranteed thing. I never said it was a guaranteed thing. I'm just saying that the moment you stop fighting is the moment that it goes even worse for you. More downhill.
It'll go worse.
And my whole point,
homeless and still be trying.
Yes, I'm not saying that
you still ended up homeless, which is the whole concept here, is that you still ended up homeless, even trying not to be homeless, even actively fighting against being homeless. What happens to a lot of people when you lose your home and all these things, your credit goes to shit.
Oh, yeah,
You're not
definitely.
getting another apartment.
Right.
Now you're going to have to rely on the kindness of other people to let you stay in their home, which in today's society, good fucking luck.
Right. Like I said,
You got parents trying to kick out their kids.
like I said, I went into this. Like I said, you did change my mind. Right now, I'm only talking on my behalf. You know, this is what I would do.
Right.
You know, if it so happens that like the world does like, you know, end up winning, then hell, you know, I'll just be another statistic, you know, like that's just how it is. But I'm just only speaking on my behalf right now.
Yeah.
You know, and the little, not the little, but like the few stories that I have that I personally know and have like read online, or like, you know, those, you know, like you always find those motivational, like the shorts, the reels, whatever, like, you know, you always come across those of, you know, like that people that were at rock bottom, you know, and then they got their big break, you know, and like not necessarily like, you know, living lavish lifestyles, you know,
Right.
but like we're able to find the way how to, you know, get out of that situation that they're in.
Yeah.
And, you know, good for them. You know, like I'm saying, like you know what? Yeah, you got me. Like, because I gotta stop thinking about it in my point of view, and actually like think about it in the way how you said it, and you actually did make a really, really valid argument. You know, so if I had a crown, I'd give it to you right now, and
I'll take it. Well, we're gonna make a crown just for this podcast, and whenever one of us,
I'll
beats
give you a
the other-
Corona.
Oh, there you go. And then the loser drinks a Bud Light.
Oh shit! Damn, the stakes got way up there. Damn.
You're gonna fight these debates tooth and nail.
You know what? Also, having to do with stakes. You know what also has to do with stakes is what I'm
other
trying to say.
stakes are high?
The other stakes are high. Vampires. So, do you believe in vampires? Mythology. You know,
That's a tough one.
cryptos. Movies, like, do you think vampires? Do you think there's a possibility of vampires?
It'd be a tough one for me to believe that we have vampires now, but maybe the ancient world was different.
Could have been. What cryptids do you? I said crypto in the beginning. What cryptids do you actually think are real? At least two.
Okay, so Shib,
Shib?
and yeah,
What Shib?
it's the Doge
Oh my god.
crypto.
Shina Uba? Is that what we're talking about?
It's my favorite cryptid.
That's crypto.
I don't know. My ones that I think are real. It's a tough one. Ghosts, I think, are real.
All right.
Aliens, I think, are real. And I don't mean ghosts in like the traditional sense.
Like
It's a
Casper.
whole nother subject. But ghosts in general.
You know,
I
if
think
he's
are real.
watching this right now, he's like looking at you like just.
He is, because it doesn't make sense to him. Doesn't have to.
No.
Doesn't have
It's
to.
because somebody told him that it doesn't make sense. AKA, he saw a video where some quote unquote smart person is like, "If you believe in ghosts, you're an idiot." And he's like, "I'm not an idiot."
I don't want to be a fool.
Exactly.
So anyways, I mean, ghosts, aliens, but as far as like werewolves, vampires, zombies, and all those things,
So
I think
you
people were
okay?
crazy
So you're
back then.
so aliens.
I think vampires, the practice was real. I don't think they were actual vampires. I think people actually believed that if you drank the blood of these people, of the youth or whatnot, virgins, that you would live longer. I believe that existed.
It's actually kind of true-ish even to today's world, because there are those people that inject themselves with like fresh blood and stuff like that. You know.
Oh, there's those celebrities right now. I think Sandra Bullock had said, I think it was her, that said that she's currently taking injections that have like stem cells or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever cells in it,
Yeah.
that rejuvenate the skin and keep it young. And I guess where they harvest these cells is from the foreskins of South Korean babies.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's a story. That's a story of it. That's a story in its own. All right.
You could say that's a vampire.
Yes. So that's technically even being practiced to this day, because you know there's those blood facials.
Or a banshee?
Banshees are the
No, that's a screaming one.
Yeah, it's a screaming one.
Something that steals your youth.
Succubus.
Succubus. There you go.
I don't know if the succubus is the one that pleasures you.
Oh yeah, never mind. I think you're right.
Which one is the one that that
Sandra
sucks your
Bullock can
soul.
steal my youth.
All right,
Whatever I have
so
left.
this story from the Breaking 911. Anti-vampire device found in child's grave from 17th century Poland, officials say. And there's the pictures right there. Around 4 centuries ago, an intriguing burial practice was carried out in a Polish cemetery involving a young child. Archaeologists have now uncovered these remains, which could provide insight into the superstitious beliefs that once gripped Europe. This revelation comes from news by Nicholas Copernicus University, I said that wrong, on July 28th. The unearthed 17th century grave is situated in an ancient cemetery near the village of this place right here. The child's partial skeleton, aged between 5 and 7, was discovered in an upside-down position beneath layers of soil. By placing the child's face down, those responsible for the burial aimed to restrict any movement, preventing it from harming the living in case of an unlikely vampire revival. A triangular padlock was found near the child's feet, likely intended to further hinder any activity. Intriguingly, the child's remains were found near a grave of a woman buried with a padlock and a sickle around her neck. This woman, discovered last year, was associated with the concept of a vampire. Vampires, perceived as animated corpses that fed on the living, held a significant place in Slavic folklore dating back to at least the 11th century, as noted in a 2014 study in the Cambridge Archaeological Journal. In an era marked by limited scientific understanding, the notion of vampires served as an explanation for puzzling diseases and untimely deaths, bolstering the prevailing Christian social order. Ongoing research encompassing DNA analysis is underway for both the child's remains and those of other individuals interred in the same cemetery. The whole thing about the sickle, the blade around the woman's neck, that's crazy. That's crazy to me.
Like if she tries to get up.
Instant decapitation.
Yeah.
And the fact that the child was buried upside down with a padlock on his feet. So basically, if this child were to come alive, he'd technically be digging downward.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't even be able to go up. Dude, this is crazy. Like the past and the practices of.
Now we can only hope these people were buried dead.
Yes. We would hope so. Well, I don't think they were buried dead.
You think they were buried alive?
Because if you're a vampire, they think you're going to come back to life. Well, I mean, they might have killed them then. Because you would have to be dead and then you need to come back to life.
Right.
Granted, I don't know the whole lore of, vampires. But I would assume that, you obviously have to get bitten by a vampire to become a vampire.
Right.
Right? So if these people were to have passed away already.
It's probably a mosquito. They got bit by a mosquito and everybody freaked out.
And then that was it, right? Okay, so I was gonna say the way how this skeleton right here looks with the arms just down, I would assume would have been like, it looked like she was just placed there. But then again, if you die, you just like, you're. No, you know what? Then not even that either, because there's no casket.
Yeah.
So if I would imagine if this woman was alive, then she would be, trying to fight her way out of this situation right here. So what's the best way to, keep her from fighting is basically kill her.
So kill him first, bury him, and then lock him up.
Yes.
Because I know they used to do that where they put cages around some tombs.
Right, exactly. And this, I don't know, it baffles me to think about like these practices that happen. I mean, they were true because like it's true that science wasn't a thing back then.
Yeah, it was just guessing.
Yeah, because there is they explained a lot of these diseases that would happen by folklore. Be like, oh, you like
if you piss off the leprechauns, you're gonna have
exactly, or a black cat ran in front of you, and now out of nowhere they gotta like throw you into the ocean, especially with witches, like the whole thing where they would dump you into water, and if you drowned, then you weren't a witch. But if you were a witch, you would survive.
Yeah,
I think so, right?
Yeah.
But then you would survive, but then the boulder will still kill you because you still would drown. No, the logic was that if you're a witch, you would be able to escape.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then if you weren't a witch, then, like, oops.
Sorry.
At least you weren't a witch.
Now we know.
There was this movie
Dude, imagine being like a pissed off husband back then. Like your wife, didn't have dinner ready on time.
That was a lot of.
You were busy casting spells.
Right. That was the way of back then. Like, they would be like, to save yourself.
And that's why you need the Barbie movie. Shit like that happened.
No, to save yourself, it would be you would need to be like, okay, like we won't torture you if you give up, another name of somebody that could be a witch or a vampire, and you'd be like, oh, okay, well, guess what, Mario, I saw Mario like floating 3 feet up in the air one time, and now they're not torturing me, but now they're torturing you, and guess what? For you to be saved, now you got to go, like basically snitch out your friends, so that's how I
saw demonic voting for Biden.
Oh, that would definitely not be me. I am being what's it called? I'm being possessed.
They'd believe it too because
I'm being possessed by a dead Democrat.
No, they believe it because of the pink shirt and baby blue hat. They'd be like, oh yeah, that's him.
Yeah, but you make valid arguments on this episode right here, and I'm not liking it. All right, can you like tone down your logic just a little bit? You're 2 beers.
I'll take it down a notch.
Yes, at least let me win one.
Yeah.
If there was a time machine, I would like to go back in time to like eras like this. Where obviously like you're not like make it like a TV. You know how like you just go into the past and you really can't interfere because it's just like, I don't know, like a hologram of you or whatever.
Yeah.
And like you could I just want to witness, like what they did like back then and how they thought. Like wouldn't you like to go back to like the ancient Egyptian times, and like see like the pharaohs and
I'd want to see how they did everything.
That would be like so interesting. And then you go over there and then you're bored out of your mind because it's taking forever to get there. And then you just realize that it's all like normal life. And they're like,
the pharaoh, this pyramid's not going to be done for another 300 years.
Right. The pharaoh's just right there laying down, taking a nap. And you're like right there just watching. You're like, I wasted my one time travel pass to go watch him sleep, or her if it's Cleopatra. But these, I don't believe in vampires.
Nah.
Because that's just like, to me, that's, folklore. I would say the cryptids I do believe in would be, I kind of believe in Bigfoot.
Okay.
Only one theory I believe in Bigfoot is that he's actually an interdimensional being, and that's why you can't catch it. That's why you never seen one.
Maybe he's the one who's using the steps. Those random stairs that are found in the forest.
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen that?
Random stairs?
Yeah.
Let me look that up.
There's random stairs in the forest that the park rangers tell people do not climb up those steps. Yeah, park rangers won't climb them, and they tell other park rangers don't go near them, and they tell other people, climb at your own risk. Apparently, they're portals to other dimensions.
So these are here, right?
Yep. And they're all over the country.
So it would be the mysterious stairs in the woods that lead to nowhere. In 2019, a Reddit user shared a story that the time could seem a pure fictional story born from desire to arouse the attention of readers. From that post, however, numerous testimonies were born, and today it is clear that those stories are not invented, or at least most of them are not. These stories speak of mysterious stairs in the woods, apparently without any logical explanation. Stairs in the woods explained. Simple explanation of the stairs in the woods phenomenon is these stairs that rise from the ground and go up to the sky are mysterious stairs that most often seen at night and looks as if they were built in the woods out of nowhere. There are no other structures or buildings around them. That's, you know what? I think I would go up those stairs only because I'd be curious. Would you go up them? Like if me and you were in the woods right now.
I mean, if the park ranger and everybody on, every planet's telling me not to because it's creepy shit happens up there, like people go missing up there, I'd be like, no, I don't think so.
So you wouldn't try it?
No, where's the chance?
I would try it. Because like I would love to go to the Bermuda Triangle. I would love to. I just want to experience something like this. So if I go up those stairs and I don't know where I'm gone.
You could be that guy who went down the.
See, he's there. But I mean, that's more of a modern staircase.
He's
anyway,
having a good time.
Yeah. To me, like, if I were just to disappear randomly, at least I'd be like in another dimension or somewhere else. Hopefully, I'm not instantly killed or whatever, but like I'm alive to see, I don't know, another world. What if it's like Stranger Things and you go up there and next thing you know you're in the Upside Down?
Because that's a big hopefully. And why would you want to go to the Upside Down? It looks like a terrible
to
place
experience it. Like,
just for the experience?
Tell me you're not curious about it.
I'm not.
Really?
No.
So you wouldn't want to like go to Bermuda and
I
be
guess
like,
you can say that I do believe in this one then, because if I see those out there, like I'm saying, all the stories everybody's saying, like, hey, you shouldn't go up there because crazy shit happens. I'm probably not gonna go up there.
yeah, but it's all hearsay. Unless you go up there.
I'll go with you.
Oh, we're
And
gonna
I'll watch you do it
are
for
we gonna hold
research.
hands?
No, for research purposes, I'm gonna watch you go up there. I'm gonna document everything, and hopefully.
What
they
if you're
only take
documenting?
you.
What if you're documenting everything with your phone, shooting at 4K quality, right? And next thing you know, I just randomly disappear, right? Or I'm right here and like a white flash, like, see, look, he's up there. He's
He's up there. He's doing all right.
He's not disappeared. And what if like I just go up there and then a random flash happens and I'm gone, and you're like, oh, I caught it all on video, and next thing you know, like you go to review your video and I was never in the video to begin with.
We never had a podcast.
We never did. I would like to experience that. I would love to like jump into a black hole. Only the experience, like what's
on the other side?
What's on the other side? What's on the other side of these stairs? Like the Bermuda Triangle. Like I would love to know the curiosity.
Then you wouldn't be able to tell anybody.
As long as I know, like, screw everybody. I don't care. As long as I know. And if I were to make it back from this experience, I'm going to basically, nobody's going to believe me in the first place.
Yeah.
So there's no way, like, as long as I know deep down in my truth that I jumped into a black hole and survived, that's literally all that matters. If I'm the one that survived being buried alive and had a scythe around my throat, But then again, nah, I would like to know. I would.
No,
I would take one for the
bad.
team. I would take one for the team.
But it's not even for the team because you can't tell us. It would be pointless.
You'd be there though. Like you'd be there, like experiencing.
I saw a black hole devour him.
And at least for science, you would know
I
that.
get to go back and tell everybody what I saw, and I'd be like, he jumped in the black hole, right? And there was a moment where he was able to jump back. Okay, he would have been able to come back, but he didn't. Instead, he stayed because on the other side were a bunch of buff dudes that it's all just all the gay sex that he wanted, and he got to keep it all just for himself.
I didn't want to share with anybody.
Infinite
orgasms
by handsome dudes,
a bunch of Jason Momoas, a bunch of Jason Momoas. Well, yeah, fives, to keep you humble.
Yeah,
so yes, a bunch of Jason Momoas, a bunch of Chris Evanses,
and that's what I'm telling everybody, and that's gonna go in the science textbooks.
You know what? That's fine because you would like to paint it a beautiful story like that. But in reality, what I did was I'm like, I don't want to pay debt. I don't want to pay my mortgage anymore. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that.
You spend a week there. You jump back. It's been 200 years. That's how much time passed. It's a week for you over there, but 200 years over here. And in the history books, it just goes down to there's a statue of you right there taking dicks because you were like, hey, he's a hero.
I mean, I'll let them think about that.
Demonic the Explorer.
And then I come back, right? And then scientists, they're like, what happened? And I'm like, I would probably be ashamed of taking so many dicks that I'd be like, it was just nothingness.
But you didn't. You spent a week over there when it was super fantastic, super great. But I told everybody that that's what happened.
But what if it really was that happened? What if in that reality I went there, right? And that reality was whatever you said it was. So, you know what I mean? So you dictated my reality there.
Then you'd be pretty mad at me.
But you said I liked it. So then in that reality, I would like it. Because
but now you're back to our reality and you're like, damn.
Yeah, back to this boring reality where there's no dicks. Well, it's going to be 200 years, so there probably wouldn't be any.
Yeah. Barbie did its job.
Exactly. Guys, thank you for watching this episode of the Slightly Off Topic Podcast. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.